Hi everybody, I'm Bob Schneider. Welcome to the Song Club.
I knew it was a bad idea to meet you here, my dear. 'Cause now that I've done it, my heart.
Yeah, I gotta fix that. All right, everybody, welcome to the Song Club. And it's episode number 40. And we're here in the studio, and you don't know that because... There, now you can see me. Oh, yeah. This is a podcast, but it's also up on YouTube now. So if you want to watch me talk and see my face with my mouth moving, you can do that. Just go to YouTube and get yourself some chips or a snack of your choosing and hunker down, and you can watch me make magic. I like to call it, I call it just, doing a podcast, but others in the podcast business, in the podcast world, they call it, oh my God, he's making magic, podcast magic. How's he doing it so effortlessly? Well, I don't know. I have no idea. I just am able to do it. And other people marvel at it, and I just take it for granted. Because what can you do? What can you do with genius except celebrate it, which I do with you guys every week here on the Song Club. I want to say thank you to all my Patreon subscribers. Thanks. I do appreciate it. I know that there's a lot of people in the world that are like, we don't know who that guy is. We know he's been around since the 90s. So we're surprised that he's still in the game. Because why? Does he think he's Mick Jagger? Does he think he's 16 years old, even though he's almost 80? Doesn't he realize how old he is? Shouldn't he be doing something like golfing? Why is he making podcast magic? Why is he writing songs? Doesn't he realize that nobody cares? But that's not true, because you guys care. And you guys are like, Bobby, don't speak this way. Bobby, don't speak this way. We need you to keep making the stuff that you make because we love it so. And I know that. And that's why I do it. Everything I do for me. No. How about that song? How about Ryan Adams coming up with that song and then trying to pitch that to radio? Everything I do it for me. Because that's true, by the way. That's the part that's true. And then him saying, everything I do it for you, is sweet sounding, and it's why it was like the number one hit in the world when it came out. Like, and I think I must have been playing music when it came out, but I just remember thinking, this song is not good. Why do people like this song? Now, granted, I was probably listening to Mark Stewart at the time, which, if you never listened to Mark Stewart, is basically like noise. He recorded like noise and then put screeches on top of it and stuff. This is during a heavy drug phase. And when I say heavy drugs, I mean not heavy drugs at all, just marijuana. And, maybe something from the garden occasionally. Some vegetable option. Dude, we were on tour one time with my band Joe Rockhead back in the, good God, early 90s it must have been. Sometime before 93, because that's when that band broke up. And we were traveling, as we were wont to do when we were on the road. And the way we used to travel is we had a pickup truck with a camper shell on it, and there was 5 of us in the band, so there was 2 in the front and then 3 in the back on a mattress. just free floating. No seatbelts, just hanging out in the back of a pickup truck in a camper shell. And it was hot back there. I mean, I think there was maybe a window or something we could crack. I don't know. I don't remember. But I know that's where 3 of us rode, and I was one of them because nobody trusted me to drive, and it's probably a good thing. And then we would have a trailer behind that little U-Haul trailer that we would rent. We'd put our equipment in there. And one time we were driving into Louisiana to go play Baton Rouge. And at Lake Charles, they've got a sort of a drug stop. I guess that's I-10 there is a big drug highway from maybe Florida to the rest of the country on I-10. So they've got these not DEA, they're just like, I think they're just like state troopers. There's some kind of police. And if you fit a certain profile, they'll just pull you over. And we fit the profile of a bunch of dudes in a pickup truck with a camper shell pulling a U-Haul. So they pulled us over. And I think one of the guys had like a one-hitter on him. And so as soon as they found that one-hitter, they're like, okay, guys, we're searching everything. Now we have the right or whatever. We're going to search this thing. And these guys are looking for, drug traffickers and stuff. They don't care about a one-hitter. I mean, I've been pulled over there a few times where they found some marijuana paraphernalia. They just don't care. But so they asked us, they're like, hey, do you guys have any drugs? Are you smuggling large quantities of drugs into Louisiana? And so we were like, no, we have no drugs, officer. And then one of the guys, I won't say who, goes, I do have some I have a vegetable that I'm not sure. I think it's fine, but I'm not sure. So the guy was, of course it was mushrooms. And the guy was like, let's see it. So he pulls out this little baggie, and it had like the least amount of mushrooms I've ever seen in my life. Like, I don't know. Like, maybe enough to like do some sort of microdose or something. I don't know. It was like, it looked like somebody had left a tiny amount of coffee grinds, like a half a teaspoon of coffee grounds in this thing. And he showed it to the cop, and the guy was like, yeah, throw that away. And, they searched everything, and we didn't have anything, and they let us go. But yeah, that's what we used to do. We used to go from town to town and make music and let people let their hair down. I do remember on one of those trips to Baton Rouge, this was when I was playing in Joe Rockhead, which was sort of a Red Hot Chili Peppers sort of situation, band, guitar, bass, drums. We did have a keyboard player for a while, RT Sinister, the keyboard minister. I don't know if we had him at this point, but we were playing a gig at the Art Bar in Baton Rouge, and I had a cordless mic, which is pretty big, pretty chunky mic, has some batteries in it, and then it's like a mic with batteries, so that's heavy. So I'm jumping around the stage, rapping, singing and rapping, which is what I did in that band. Jumping around, acting the fool, and getting the audience into it. And at some point, I decided it'd be a good idea to throw the mic into the audience and have somebody in the audience catch the mic, which they did, thank God. Otherwise, that mic would have been effed up. And then, because they're nice and we're all having a good time, the guy was like, well, let me throw this back to Bobby. The only thing is, if you're on stage, there's all these lights that are shining into your eyes. So even though I might be looking at you in the audience, really what I'm seeing is darkness and then these bright lights that are shining into my eyes. And that's what was going on that night. So I'm just kind of dancing around with these bright lights, and this mic comes arcing out of the sky and bonks me real hard on the head. And I go down. I'm down for the count. Temporarily unconscious, as they were. And I think the guys in the band thought I was kind of joking around. I've been knocked out twice on stage. That was the... I got knocked out one time at the Black Cat as well. So now I'm down. And luckily I wasn't dead. I was just down for a minute. And then I came to, and there's a bunch of music playing. And I'm like, where am I? Oh, I'm on stage. Oh, I'm at the art bar. Oh, I'm in Louisiana. Oh, I got knocked out for some reason. Picked up the mic. Continued to sing. And here I am today. 38 years later. Talking to you guys here on the Song Club. And feeling pretty good about it. Feeling pretty good. And doing this podcast and also filming it. And I'm trying to film it for the first time on YouTube. And trying to do it all in one shot. I mean, I'm not trying to do it. I'm going to do it all in one shot. Which some of you will be like, well, we can't do it in one shot. He's got to be editing this. Otherwise, how could he do that? How could he talk for an hour and make such crazy magic happen and not stop and edit? Well, I don't know. But let's listen to some songs I wrote this month. It was a good month. It was a good harvest of songs this month. I wrote one of my new favorite songs, which is always nice to write something that you really like. And then I wrote a couple songs that are pretty good. And then some other songs that are kind of joke songs, but I kind of like joke songs. So that was good. And all the songs that you're going to hear on the podcast this month, I wrote this month. So normally I write 4 songs a month, but it was a long month. And the beginning of the month came at a weird time, so I wrote 6 songs, and then I wrote an extra song one week because I didn't like the song I wrote, so I wrote something else. And then I listened to it, and I was like, oh, I kind of like that song. And then I wrote a song for a friend of mine for a little short film that he did. So there you have it. That's 8 songs in 1 month. Not bad. So let's listen to this first one. It's a rap song. And it's called Blowing Up the Spot with My Beats. And I like it. I've been listening to it and enjoy it. I'm going to let you all listen to it and see what you think. Here we go. Whoa. Yeah. Come on. Uh-huh. Blowing up the spot with my beats. Well, blowing up the spot with my beats. Blowing up the spot with my beats. Yo, blowing up the spot with my beats. Ravioli eating motherfuckers doing their thing. I'm a bad motherfucking king in the land of the mighty. I feel fighty. I had a date I had to cancel with Blake Lively. Bill, now the sun's got old. That ain't I. Give me the ball. I take it to the paint. I ain't floating like a canvas. By the word terrific. It's harder than it seems. So let me be a little more specific. Blowing up the spot with my beats. Yo, blowing up the spot with my beats. Blowing up the spot with my beats. Yo. Oh. I use a brick for a kick, use a spoon to eat a salad when I'm down at the bottom. Sometimes I whip out my mallet like I'm long and leave, don't touch the cards when I'm gone. Mike Doty and the boys wrote Super Bond, Super Bond. If you like the way this sounds, wait until you hear the recording of Hamilton. I'm watching shit on Hulu like I'm lost at sea. I'm the cake boss, bitch, I got a GED, but I'm blowing up the spot with my beats. Dang. Blowing up the spot with my beats. Blowing up the spot. Blowing up the spot with my beats. Yo, blowing up the spot with my beats. Oh, shit. Dang, son. Blowing up the spot with my beats. Glass chicken cheek, spare rib mortar. I got the blue pill, rickety, dick starter belt, buckle lady. That's Viagra, I guess. Down the middle, and I'll take both halves. Well, I'm a time traveler, I travel freely through space. If you got the Parker laundry, consider my face. Chicken finger giver at the drop. Well, there you have it. Blowing up the spot with my beats. It's the new jam. What can I say about that? the phrase for the week was lively, because I saw that movie A Simple Favor, which came out a couple years ago, with the chick from Pitch Perfect and Blake Lively, who I haven't seen in a movie since I think she was in The Town with Ben Affleck. And I heard that I don't know where I heard this from, and I'm not even going to say it because I don't know if it's true, and it's just hearsay. So I ain't going to say it, but I'm going to imply something may have happened on that set. I'm just going to leave it at that. I'm not going to say anything else, but I have thought about it, and it doesn't make me happy. So anyways, I watched A Simple Favor and enjoyed it. It was a good movie. And Blake Lively is a pretty good actress. She's got a lot of talent, as we like to say in the business. And so I was like, yeah, let's do a song and have the phrase be lively. And so I used her name in it, but it was kind of throwaway. I thought maybe I would write a song about Blake Lively, but I didn't, because I don't know how to write songs that way. When I write a song, I just sit down and write something, and then I don't know what it's going to be. I don't usually have an idea of what I'm writing until I start writing it. And then once I get into it, then I'm like, oh, that's what it is. Kind of like these podcasts. I don't know what I'm going to talk about. And I sit down and then I just start talking about whatever. And then I'm like, oh, I guess that's what I'm going to talk about. And hopefully it doesn't get too horrific, which it can, because sometimes horrific stuff will come into my mind. And if I think it's funny, I'll say it. And unfortunately, today, if you say something, you might as well have just killed a bunch of babies, because people get real upset when they hear certain words spoken in a certain order. And I'm like, hey, MF, what happened to sticks and stones will break my bones, but words can never hurt me. What happened to those days? I feel like those were the days when when like kids were out in the streets on their own and their parents were like, they'll make it back by supper. And real shit was happening. And now, because kids have been like pampered and watched, and like everything's like super dangerous, like now, back in the day, like, I mean, it was basically I spent my days putting myself in constant danger as a child. Like, I would ride my bike without a helmet. All we did when I was a kid is try to create ramps and stuff to jump over on our bikes, and routinely, daily, fall, crash, and hit our heads upon concrete or rocks or whatever, trees, and you would see stars, and that meant you were concussed. And that's what we did as kids. Or like my neighbor one time couldn't get into their house, and they were like, well, I can't get into my house, but let me boost this little 8-year-old kid up to the second story window and have him climb through the window, and then he can go open up my door. Now, did I know these people? Not well. Did they live near my house? Yeah. When they boosted me up, when I went to open the window, I was like, oh, the window's closed. And they're like, yeah, just push on it. It's open. And I pushed on it, but I'm a little 8-year-old and small little tiny 8-year-old arms. And they're like, yeah, just kind of, bang on it, push on it. It's open for sure. And I did that, and the window broke, and I cut my arm, my wrist, pretty deep. Still have the scar right there. Anyways, you can't see it. Is it going to do it? Anyways, cut it pretty deep. I was like, I cut myself. And they're like, yeah, that's fine. Can you get in there and open the door? So cut myself and then still went inside, opened up the door for these people. And then they were like, oh, that looks bad. Did I get stitches? No. Did they like kind of tape it up a little bit and then put something like a napkin with some masking tape? Yeah. Did I just go back to just doing whatever the fuck I was doing? Yeah. Because that's called the 70s. So that's how we lived back then. So yeah. Sticks and stones, concrete and broken glass will mess you up, but words, you can learn to deal with that, I guess, is what I'm thinking. So anyways, those aren't the times we're living in now. We're living in a time where words are, whoo boy. All right, let's listen to another song. This is a new song. They're all new this month. This is called Your Company. I don't know what it's about. Let's listen to it and then I'll talk about it. Oh, that sounds just like the other song. It's because it was. Oh yeah. There's a mountain in Chile. I just make up facts, by the way, in case you're wondering. Oh, that Bobby, he just make up fact. That's right. I make them up. Because here's what I'm not going to do. I'm not concerned if my songs are factual or not. So the next verse in that is like, oh, there's a mountain in Chile that is unclimbable because it's too high. Now, is there a mountain in Chile? I don't know. Could be. There might even be a mountain in Chile that's never been climbed. I don't know. Or there might not be any mountains in Chile at all. I have no idea. But it sounds plausible, so I just said it, and I like the way it sounds. I mean, I just made it up. The weird thing is, I do make up stuff every once in a while, and it's like 100% true. I should look it up. Just, are there mountains in Chile? Let's see here. Oh, this is exciting for people. Don't you love it when you're talking to somebody and they're like, oh, they just start doing something on their phone and you're like, oh, I love this. Are there mountains? I'm typing with my thumb, and when my son, who's 15, sees me doing this, he gets real upset. In Chile. Are there mountains in Chile? There's some mountain peaks. There's Ojos de Salado, Pomerape, Lincolniker. List of mountains. All right. Well, there's some mountains there. Are they big mountains? I don't know. Oh, yeah. Oh, these are some serious mountains. There's a lot of mountains in Chile. I should have said, are there any mountains in Chile that have never been climbed? There's only one that's got a Oh, wow. Well, if you want to see some beautiful mountains, look up Mountains of Chile. They look like Bob Ross paintings. Have they been climbed? Who knows? Probably not, according to me. So that's another song. And let's just listen. You know what? Let's just listen to songs this week, this month, because there's so many of them and they're so good. Let's just do it. Let's just do what we got to do here, people. All right. So that was Your Company. This next one's called You Got Me Where You Want Me. Let's try it. Oh, it's got that vocoder. Yeah. Is this Chromeo? Are we listening to Chromeo?
I was working on my GED.
Auto-tune.
Watching investigation discovery. I didn't understand the danger there. Only love could save me when you spent your hand.
Whoa.
I told you
What?
without your love, maybe I might die.
Dang.
Watch the whole world go to hell. I thought that maybe you might make it better, but it's so hard to tell.
Was this song written by robots? One more verse.
When you tell me your story, well, I seem to find my way home again. I've been falling ever since I can remember what you came along and somehow it ain't December anymore. It's Moonlight July, only April and March. You know I bought the new iPhone 11 Pro Max. I would throw it in the forest for you. I would let the animals have it, the wild animals of the forest.
I'd let the wild animals of the forest have my... I'd let the wild animals of the forest have my iPhone 11 Pro Max. That's how much I love you. Yeah, that sounds like almost like one of my podcasts, but auto-tuned with a beat and then robots doing the chorus. I am a robot. That's called a vocoder. It looks something like this. If you're watching this on YouTube, this is a microphone, and then you play the notes on your keyboard, and then you sing, and then whatever note you're playing is what key. So you could be like going la 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 la, but if you're just doing this, hitting that one note, it'll be like la 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 la. Anyways, and then you're Daft Punk, and then you're making, I don't know, like $1 billion. And then nobody knows who you are, and you're like, but I am Daft Punk. I would like to get a seat at this table. And they're like, well, you need to wear your helmet if you want a seat, bitch. And they're like, but I am Daft Punk. I wrote the songs that made the early 2000s come alive. I'm Daft Punk. I watched the Beastie Boys documentary that's on Apple. It was pretty good. Here's what Adam Horowitz is doing now. Not giving a fuck. I mean, I don't know if he ever did give a fuck, but he surely does not give a fuck. He was wearing like, I guess those guys have always been real stylish, I think, the Beastie Boys. I mean, when they came out, I was like, man, these guys are cool. And now, you know, he's 50-something. He's got to be my age. And he's wearing, like, straight up ultra dad wear. I mean, when he was a teenager or in his early 20s, he was wearing the clothes of the urban street kid from New York City. And now he's just like fucking straight up khakis and a sweatshirt. Like, he's like, I'm not doing anything rock and roll. That dude's like, y'all can go fuck yourself. Because here's what they have done. They're in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. So they don't give a shit. And I mean, when you get in your 50s, you kind of don't give a shit anymore. Even though I kind of do give a shit, because I still feel like, well, there might be somebody that I might be able to convince besides my, 200 Patreon friends. I might need to convince a few more people that, what I'm doing is good or better than most things. But here's what they don't do. That. And here's what I've discovered most people who are in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame don't do. Give a shit. Like, everybody's doing this live streaming now because you can't, obviously play. And everybody, except for Sting, actually, I saw him do something recently, and he was like in his studio. He had a nice camera. He had a backing track. It wasn't bad. So I'll give Sting props. But everybody else I've seen, they're like, y'all can go fuck yourself. You want me to do something live? Let me turn on my computer and let's see what happens. Now my shit is so tight because that's the way I like to keep it. Real tight, real right. So that's what you get. You get with me, you get the quality. With those people, you give them not giving a fuck and going out of their way to prove it to you. So I do like seeing people who are considered incredibly talented fail. Like, it really does fill me with delight. When I see somebody like Elton John, who I didn't see this performance, but everybody tells me it's horrible. I guess he did some live performance in his driveway or something, and it was terrible. And whenever I hear that, I'm just, it just makes me feel so great. Because he's a billionaire. He's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. He's written some of the greatest songs of all time. So when that guy fails, I'm like, thank God. Thank God. Because maybe if he fails hard enough, maybe somebody will be like, well, let me check out, look at what Bobby Schneider is doing. That's actually better than what this guy's doing. Now, will that change the course of history? Will everybody decide to maybe come over to this side of the fence with you guys and me? Or are they going to stay over there with Elton John and the rest of the world? They'll probably stay over there. But maybe one or two people will step over the line like fucking badass Shogun warriors from the 1400s who are like, fuck it. We'll step over there and we'll take on the Emperor's army. We're all going to die. But we'll choose how we die. Sword in hand. Cuts across our face. Missing teeth or fingers. But goddamn it, we'll go down in a blaze of glory. Why? Because we're the Song Club Shogun Warriors, bitches. All right, on that note, let's listen to another new song. This one's called Diamond Time. And when I sing it, it sounds like Hammer Time. But I'm saying Diamond Time. I'm not saying this is my favorite song of the month, but I do like this song. But I like stuff that's great. And this is as great as it gets. Oh, yeah. What a saw the big old monster in your big old eyes. Now every time I flap my wings, I start to cry. I threw my ketchup on your TV set. Now when I change the channels, well, I get real wet. Picked up the earth, now I'm feeling better. I got a shortcut and it's made out of leather. I got a super cruiser and it's so damn tight. Give me a push, I'll go all night. I wrangle my Spanish, I vanish like a ranger. I stash my painted pony down in the manger. I got a soap collection and it's made out of glass. I fingered the trigger, I laid my ass in the grass. Pull me under the water, heat me up in a bag. 6 minutes in the oven and I'll feel real bad. Toe tags on my fingers cause I'm playing the keys. If you got my number you can talk to me. But hey, 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 it's diamond time. Hey, 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 it's diamond time. Hey, 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 it's diamond time. Stop. Can't touch this. Yeah, that's diamond time. You're privy to the secrets that I keep in my mind. I hook the chocolate trooper to the queen of the... Diamond time, baby. It's diamond time. Oh, yeah. It's diamond time. So that's a rap song. The genre is rap. I'm the master of it. And so I like to take advantage of my mastery of the genres that I am a master of. You know, a lot of people are like, oh, Jay-Z, Eminem, I don't know, all the other rappers that are out there. Busta Rhymes. Dude, how amazing was Busta Rhymes? Oh my God. When Busta Rhymes came out, every once in a while throughout my life, somebody will come out and I'm like, I'll just get scared. Like when I first saw Devo, I think I saw Devo in like 82, maybe. They were on German television and I was like, are they robots? What are those guys? And then I saw Kraftwerk and they did look like robots because they had like plastic hair. They wore like plastic wigs. And I was like, what are these? What is this? And then, who else did I see? I saw the Plasmatics. They were scary. Who else? Iggy Pop. I didn't ever see Iggy Pop, but this friend of mine in college had a poster of Iggy Pop on his wall. And it was like Iggy Pop, and he like had his dick out on stage, and he was like playing with his penis. I was like, what is that? What is that guy doing? The hell? And then what other record? Oh, that Talking Heads record. The one with Burning Down the House. Is that Speaking in Tongues? Whatever it is. That record came out. I was like, what is this? What is this? And then the Butthole Surfers, Locust Abortion Technician. That was the first record I remember hearing when I got to Austin. I met this guy, Curtis Mackler. We went over to his house. He's like, oh man, check this out. I'm like, oh, I've heard of these guys, but I'd never heard their music. This is back in the day when you had to like go buy the music if you wanted to listen to it. There was no public arena where they were going to play the Butthole Surfers. Maybe there was a student radio station that might have played it, but I mean, then you had to listen to student radio for a couple weeks maybe before they played it. So you had to know somebody who had it, or you had to go buy it yourself. Anyways, this guy played it for me. And I was like, what is this? Oh, you can do anything? You can do anything when it comes to music? You can just have a word like cunts, or I think it was called cunts. It was just like the only word was cunt. Cunts, cunts. It's like, you can do that? And you can put it on a record? And then people will buy it and then play it for other people? Oh my God, dude. My mind got expanded. I was like, all right, you can do anything. Anything in the world. It's nice. It's nice to know that you can do anything. And I thank the Butthole Surfers for letting me know that. Man, I used to go to Waterloo Records back in the day because I didn't have any money. I didn't really have any friends. So I would just go there. In the back wall of Waterloo Records, they had all these CDs. They were kind of like, I guess, I don't know if they were employee picks or there were alternative stuff. I would just look and see, like, kind of look for the most fucked up covers. And then you could take them and go listen to them. And then I would just go into this listening room and just listen to all this music. And it was cool because every time I'd go there, I'd always buy something. So I ended up, like, being introduced to all this crazy, interesting music. That's what I've always been drawn to. Just weird, crazy stuff. So, like, when I hear, like, a songwriter or something, I'm like, oh, that's so fucking boring. I've never enjoyed it. I mean, there are exceptions. I mean, Danny Malone, Billy Harvey, two exceptional songwriters from Austin, or just happened to live in Austin when I met them. They're incredible. And they're, Elliott Smith, they're exceptions to the rule. But I mean, Elliott Smith, dude killed himself by stabbing himself in the heart or something. So, I mean, Jesus. Maybe he did, or maybe his girlfriend did. Who knows? It's probably his girlfriend, I'm sure, actually. All right, here's my favorite song that I wrote this month. Every once in a while, I write a song that I'm happy with. The cool thing about this song, so I wrote this song. I'm kind of digging it. I've got the music. I've got some of the lyrics. And I'm like, let me see if I can find some, I don't know, just something interesting to put musically. And so I use Logic. And I opened up the loops, and I'm looking through the loops, and I'm like, oh, let me see if there's like any vocal things. So they have all these vocal loops. So I just like clicked on one of them, and it was this vocal loop that you'll hear in the chorus. And I'm like, oh, that's perfect. But it was just serendipity. Because if I hadn't clicked on this one loop, I mean, I would have never found it. I wasn't like, I didn't have anything like this in mind and was looking for it. I just happened to click on this one thing, and I was like, oh, that's perfect. And then I clicked on another one that was near it, and that one worked. And then I ended up with this really cool chorus. So let's listen to it. It's called Burn.
One day the dragon,
Oh, yeah.
who hardly ever showed his face, he came calling at my place. He had hung a beautiful hat upon his head. I asked him why. He turned to me and said, there is love in everything I see. There is love, oh, inside of you and me. And there is love everywhere I turn. And I love to watch it burn, 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 burn. One day while the moon was asleep in the sky, the sun came over to just say hi. It asked me, how you doing? Are you having any fun? I said, I'm doing okay, now that the day is almost done. He said, there is love in everything I see. There is love, oh, inside of you and me. And there is love everywhere I turn. And I love to watch it burn, 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 burn.
Yeah, I love to watch it burn, baby, burn. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I like the way that turned out. Again, just accidental. Sometimes that's the best. But the thing about accidental stuff is you can't recreate it. I can't I'll just try that again. Because the next 28 times that I try it, it'll be like, straight BS. I like how random that song is, too. About the dragon wearing a hat, coming over, and then really not giving a good explanation as to why he's wearing a hat. It's kind of a... But, what are you going to argue with a fucking dragon? Good God. Hell no. All you're doing when you're dealing with a dragon is you're just trying to get out of the situation alive. So even asking the dragon why he's wearing a hat is, you're kind of pushing it a little bit. But you're kind of, maybe you're just like, oh, that's a nice hat, so let me bring it up and flatter the dragon or something. Maybe I should call my record Flattering the Dragon. I don't know. I think the title for the new record is going to be called, well, I'll tell you what it was going to be called. Originally, a year and a half ago, when I started thinking about this record, I was going to call it Getting Older. I just thought that was the cool title for a rock record. But everybody I've mentioned that title to has said, don't call it that. Are you crazy? Don't call it Getting Older. But I have a song called In a Room Full of Blood with a Sleeping Tiger. And that metaphor is the same thing to me as getting older. Because as you get older, I'm 54, and I've had some friends now who have died. All cancer, by the way. All the friends that I've known have died from cancer. And then I've known of some other people that have died that are all around my age. And then I realized, well, eventually, if I live long enough, everybody I know is going to die. Or I'm going to die. That's it. Those are the two options. Either I die or everybody I know dies. No other options. So that's what that means, in a room full of blood with a sleeping tiger. And I guess the sleeping tiger's death. And the blood is, the people that have died so far. So, yeah, pretty exciting. I like it. And then my wife was like, don't call it Blood. Don't have blood in the title, because your last record was called Blood and Bones. And In a Room Full of Blood with a Sleeping Tiger sounds a little, it sounds, it doesn't sound like what the record sounds like, because the record is just a bunch of beautiful songs, really. And then that title makes it sound like it's some sort of like a Slayer record or some sort of heavy metal record or something, but it's not. Anyways, I have a song that I really like called In a Room Full of Blood. Of course, you know that because you're one of my Patreons and you've already got that song and you've probably listened to it over and over again because you love it so much. Anyways, you'll be hearing the finished studio version of that song before too long, because we're in the middle of recording that record, and it should be out by the end of July. I don't know. We're going to be done recording it by the end of July. I don't know if it'll be mixed by the end of July, but let's say August. At some point before August ends, you'll have the whole studio record, and you'll own it, because that's the other perk of being in the Song Club, is that you get a direct download of my studio record, because I use this. Well, originally when I started doing this, the idea was that I was going to use this money to fund the studio recording, which I'm going to do. Now it turns out, it's the only money you can make, because you can't play live. So now I'm like, well, maybe I will use a little of it to buy myself some of that food for my children. We'll see. Or maybe I'll let them go hungry. I don't know. All right. Here's another song. This song's called Dang. It's a co-write with a guy named Derek Barr. He lives out in Nashville. And I wrote it and I was like, I feel like it needs a little bit more music. So he helped me out and came up with some additional chords and also some additional lyrical ideas as well. And I like the way this song turned out. It was real silly, and then I kind of pared it back a little bit. I had some rhymes about Netflix and stuff. I took all that stuff out. It just seemed too much. Even though, had I kept that stuff in, probably would have more of a chance of being popular or being recorded. I can't imagine ever recording this song, but I would love for somebody to record it. Like Georgia, Florida line or somebody like that. Is it Florida, Georgia, or Georgia, Florida? Who gives a shiz? All right, let's check it out. It's called Dang. Yeah.
Dang, you blew my little black book up. Deleted Tinder when you showed up. I tied my shoes to the wrong feet. Spilled a little something on my love seat. I felt the needle in my groove slip when I saw you shaking them friendships. Where to spy this friction got me thinking thoughts that ain't Christian. But you're my favorite addiction. I'm a puzzle, you're the piece that's missing. It ain't fair, got the odd stack, looking finer than a million little greenbacks. It's like that movie with the French guy. I'm far from the big blue sky. I can't get my balance, my head's all crazy. You're what made me feel this way. It's like, dang, 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 dang. Baby, you wanna hang, cause dang, 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 dang. When you do your thing, I'm like, ooh. Dang, 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 dang. Baby, make me wanna sing. Dang, dang, dang. Dang, 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 dang.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Come on. Ooh. I don't know Kung Fu, but
it's like he gave my dang hard a dang haircut or something. How about that guitar solo? So that guy that I wrote the song with, an amazing guitar player, but I'm the one that came up with that solo, baby. So good job, Bobby B. And when I say Bobby B, I mean Bobby. Yeah, so there's that song, which is, I could see somebody recording that song and that being some huge country hit and me making, $385, which would be nice. So I got another song that I wrote this month. It's called Mahalia. I wrote this song and then I was like, I don't know if I like this song. And then I wrote another song. I think the other song I wrote was Diamond Time. And I ended up turning in Diamond Time with my song game. And then I listened to this Mahalia song and I was like, kind of like that song actually. And played it live on my Monday Night Song Club and I liked it. And I'll probably keep playing it. So let's check it out. This is called Mahalia.
Spin around the sun, lost beyond the stars. Here we with your smile, me with my scar. You fall down, laugh, and I pick you off the ground. Do I have a care in the world? Your boy, you my girl. You want me to tell you something that I cannot tell you to be true.
Oh, yeah. You want me to tell you something that I know not to be true? I guess that's a lie. I guess that's what they call a lie. So, yeah. So those are the songs that I wrote this month that are like real songs. And then this last song, which I'll finish with, because we're almost out of time. It's been an hour almost. That's long enough. Sometimes this goes a little longer than an hour, and I always feel like it's too long. I feel like an hour is too long most of the time. Because, I mean, but I do think, you know, people have time nowadays to listen to stuff. So, yeah, let's go out on this song. It's called Shruti Palooty, or Shruti Patootie. And what this is a friend of mine, Mark Grachowski, who is on Instagram at Mark Tom Photography or something like that. Or if you just, I think if you just search Mark Grachowski Photography, it'll show up. Very talented photographer, buddy of mine. Anyways, he did a little movie. And if I can figure out what the link is, I'll put the link here on the YouTube below, down here. Like I'm going to do that, but maybe I will. But look down there. See if you, where it says more. See if there's a link down there. If there's a link, get excited, because that's me fucking powering up to the next level on YouTube, because I'm putting fucking links in my shit. So I don't know. Yeah, I feel like we've done it here. Song Club number 40. Got all the songs. We listened to them. I don't know about this method that I used. I don't think I'm gonna. I don't know if I'm gonna use it again, because I don't think the sound quality is very good for the songs that we listened to. But maybe it's fine. So yeah, so let's check out the Shruti Palooty. Shruti Patootie. So I don't know, he made this film, and it's about, I guess it's about like meditation and whatever. So he just told me, he goes, I want it to be droney and scary, and I want it to build. I was like, no problem. That's like most days for me. Scary and droney, and they build into terror. So yeah, I can do it, and I did it. And that's where we're going to go out on. We're going to go on a droney, terror-filled, weird note. And then I'll see you next time on the Song Club. Thanks again, everybody. If you're not a member already, you can join my Patreon by going patreon.org. Patreon.com/Bob Schneider. Or is it patreon.com/Song Club? I think it's Bob Schneider. I don't know, though. It's searchable, though, so if you go to Patreon, just search for Bob Schneider, it'll show up. If you don't want to wait a whole month for another Song Club podcast, you can also check out my other podcast, I'm Okay, You're Okay, I'm Not Okay, You're Not Okay, with my friend Clint Wells. That one's chock full of fun and laughs. Something about hanging out with Clint brings out the silly in me, which I like. Not a lot of silly this week, I feel like. More like nuts and bolts. We just kept it real. Kept it real. Told you some stories about some shit that went down back in the day. Did some drug stuff. Did some rock and roll stuff. And we talked about some songs that I wrote this week. So, kept it adult. Kept it real. Not a lot of poop stuff. That's good. Very little dick talk. So I feel good about it. I hope you do too. And I hope you join me again. In the meantime, let's go out on this. Y'all take care. We'll see you soon. Oh, shit. Maybe we shouldn't have ended on this. Yeah, this is heavy, man. All right. We'll see you guys.